Hello, Planeswalkers. Welcome back to an early morning episode. We got some shit we got to do this afternoon, so we wanted to live stream this and get this right out there to you folks. As always, I am Kava.
What's up, everybody? How's it going? It's Jack.
And we have the bracket updates that we've all been so longingly waiting for. So we're going to jump right into
Some big
it.
news, big changes.
We are going to jump right into this shit. And Jack, why don't you get it started off here? What the fuck is going on?
So we've got quite a few good changes coming here, I think. So we just had, there was a Magic Con where the whole community of the Commander folks got themselves together, had big discussions at a summit, talked about this whole thing, and we got some updates to the beta of the bracket system here, where essentially they went in, changed a few things around, updated some of the philosophies and things like that. So we're kind of just going to go in and give our quick, relatively quick thoughts and opinions and reactions to the changes coming forward and what this could mean for future games and events, so to speak. So the biggest changes, I think, come from with brackets 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Right. These, I think, had the biggest kind of, I don't say issues, right? There weren't really issues with these brackets, but there were confusions, I think, given the wording that was used prior to these. The biggest thing I think that they went and changed is that bracket 2 is no longer tied to a precon.
Oh my god, that is fucking so huge.
Yeah,
I mean,
this is pretty great.
I know we have personally had this discussion countless times when we were talking brackets. Just there's so many different variables in Commander precons, between the Final Fantasy precons, between the Edgar Markov
older
Dragon precons, and then even
ones from 15 years ago to,
I mean,
like, they just can't compete, right? Like, there's just been so many new cards, so many new mechanics printed.
Yeah, but you also got those. You also got those Commander welcome deck type of things that they came out with a couple years ago that were made to get people into the game. Those are bracket 1 fucking decks. See, we're looking at the bracket lists. Like, those aren't bracket 2.
They could be.
I'm like, I haven't played them in a while. I originally bought them to try and get my now wife into playing, because I'm like, it'll be easier to teach her with this. But those aren't going to compete against the Dragon precon or the Edgar Markov precon.
No,
or even the Arabo deck.
Right. So the main philosophy and, like, the main idea they had going with it was that not every precon is built the same, right? Not every precon is going to be built in a similar fashion to adhere to these things. So they decided basically to just cut that out, say, nope, precons are going to be precons, whether you update them or not. They could fit probably likely between 2s and 3s. Most likely is where I could see them hanging out.
I mean, I could also see Wizards pulling out, especially once they get these brackets like narrowed down. I could see them being like, you know what? We're going to release a special set of Commander decks that are all going to be bracket 3 or bracket 4 and charge people more money.
A bracket 4 set of precons would be pretty crazy.
I could see them doing it, though, especially with Hasbro at the helm. They want the money. Oh, we're going to release 2 sets of the same precon. One's going to be more of a bracket 2 and 2. The other one set is going to be a bracket 4. No different than how they did the collector's editions of the decks a few years ago with, like, the Warhammer and the Lord of the Rings. I think they did it. No. Yeah, the Lord of the Rings, they did the collector's editions decks.
I believe so, yeah.
I could definitely see them doing something like that, especially once these brackets get ironed out more.
Right.
Which,
I mean, yeah, we're still in the beta. It's still open to discussion.
Which, something like that, I definitely wouldn't be opposed to
Yeah.
especially for newer players that might not be the best deck builders. They have a bunch of friends that all play bracket 4 type of decks. They
Yep.
might be nice to have a precon that can immediately come in and play against them for a new player.
That would be good, yeah, because it can feel if like the only deck you have is some random precon, then it could be tough to compete with those. But so that's one big change that I personally love that we love here is that they get rid of that baseline because like it's
It was
I mean the
limiting
command zone did
to
a really good thing about it. We're like, look at that mountain out there.
yeah,
That's the baseline. That's the thing, right? So if any of you watched their thing, they did a great job of like explaining it, and Rachel Weeks does a great job going into explaining these things further and giving more in-depth stuff. But like that mountain out there, that's the basis. Like, wait, which one? That one there, or which? What are we looking at? Where's the baseline? It could be this or could be that.
yeah.
It was kind of all over the place. It didn't seem to really fit and mesh well, together to fit everybody's expectations, which this I think was like their main focus was just we're gonna set expectations and the intent of the decks to match these brackets. So, the other things they did was they really tried to separate 1 and 2 to be focused more on like one and like I want to preface this by saying like these aren't going to be bad decks, right? You can
No.
build a one that plays okay. It isn't just like a crapshoot deck, right? Like you can, oh, it's oops all hats, right? Like all the decks have like all the cards have hats. That could still be a good fun deck to play. It doesn't have to just be like, oh, it's my worst deck, so it's a 1. No, that that's not how this goes. It's more so built around
Theme.
a theme, a fun idea, you telling a story,
Yep.
right? It's there to, just
Like
have a bit of fun and not,
like I know Josh and Rachel said it perfectly and it
they did,
resonated
yeah.
with me because Josh was saying, "Oh, I have a tap untap theme deck. Will that fit in bracket 1?" And
No,
Rachel's like, "Well, that's not really a theme. Tap
right? It's more of an
untap is a
archetype,
mechanic which
right?
puts it into an archetype." That makes sense.
Right.
Like
Themes are a little bit different. We
you're not
gotta,
gonna have a vampire tribal or a dinosaur tribal in a bracket 1 deck.
no, no, just because you're centered around that one thing,
Yeah,
which can be a theme like that. We'd like to think of these things as themes, but that's not
and
entirely what they were going for. Because if you look at, and I'm sure do we have the you got the commander brackets up, right? We got that somewhere.
it is on the screen now. The new brackets that was just updated. Um, so Rachel did a nice little thing on the top of the bracket that you guys can see here. Kind of blurring or not blurring, but highlighting the differences between each of the brackets. So between 1 and 2, the difference is theme. So if you're a 1, you're going to be prioritizing, oh, it's all artwork from that makes it look like it's from Japan, or all the characters in the art have hats on. Whereas 2, yes. No, it doesn't have to be bad. But it says right in the brackets, decks prioritize a theme or a goal over power. That's what it is. The win conditions are going to be highly thematic or substandard. And the whole gameplay, it's all about showing off your theme. Um, it mm-hmm. thematic. Yeah, at that point, okay, that I can see how that would be a theme. Yeah, but so one of the biggest things that I personally noticed that they talked about in the article and on the Command Zone episode with Rachel and Josh, they added one little thing to each bracket that I think is going to be huge. And it's going to start causing people to pay more attention to the actual gameplay. They added a turn restriction guideline. So with bracket 1, the game should last at least 9 turns before someone wins or loses. And more of a okay, yeah, exactly. It's an expectation. Yeah, exactly. Well, in the way I was looking at it, it's that is a amazing tool for those decks that, for instance, you have a bracket 2 deck and we all have those decks that punch a lot higher than their weight class. And if you're consistently winning with a bracket 2 deck, like consistently by turn 6, maybe it's not a bracket 2 deck. It's probably not. Yeah. Well, so yeah. So under the gameplay for core, it kind of says it perfectly. Gameplay is to be low pressure, proactive, and considerate, letting each deck showcase its plan. You're not going to get any stack stacks in bracket 2. You're not going to get you're not going to get control. And the one thing that they did is they kind of solidified their definition on the 2-card combos. Because I know that was it was very ambiguous prior. Now they solidified it by pretty much saying those are going to be game enders, lockouts, or infinite combos. There's yes. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. So, yes. So, the one thing, yeah, the one thing that you said before we jumped on the live stream here, and it really stuck with me, and I think it's a great explanation. If you're going on to EDH Rec and searching a commander, and you're picking all the cards that are the most popular in that commander, you're you're not building a bracket 2 deck, folks. You're trying to find all the staples for that deck. Yeah. I, the way I look at it with the staples, if you're going around in a dragon deck and you're putting Draco Genesis in that deck, yeah, it's not a bracket 2. I don't care what else you have in that card in that deck. That's not a bracket 2. No different than if you're yeah, no difference than if you're putting in Rooftop Storm in a zombie deck. I'm sorry. Like that's regardless of what else is in that deck, the ability to cast all your spells for free, that's putting you up into the upgraded, in my opinion. Yeah. Yeah. Like, I feel like the bracket 2 compared to the bracket 3, in the bracket 3, you're going to be focusing more on, oh shit, there might be a lot more counter spells being flung around than in a bracket 2. Your shit might not resolve. um exactly. 6 turns. Yep. Yes. Yeah, why are you not playing? Grab that. And I think that might partially be on, oh, how quickly can you cast this in terms of mana as well. Um because realistically, if we're not talking um any mana rocks or anything like that, turn 6, you should have 6 lands out there. We all know that's not usually the case. Yeah. Use Yeah. I was gonna say by turn 6, yep, you should probably have at least 7 to 8 pieces of land by in bracket 3 by then, which, yeah. But then, and speaking of tutors, they got rid of the restriction on all tutors. They're no longer restrictions. And that's good because, like we were saying earlier, what is a tutor? What could be a tutor? What isn't a tutor? Is a terramorphic expanse a tutor? And yeah, expedition map, terramorphic expanse. There's a bunch of them. Yeah, like I'm sorry, but demonic tutor and diabolic, yeah, demonic and diabolic tutor are a lot better than terramorphic expanse. Why are they put into the same bracket? Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Yes. Now, yeah, because bracket 4, you're not, in my opinion, you're not just gonna every single time sit at a pod and there's gonna be someone with a bracket 4 deck. Um, Josh said it in the episode that yeah, he has a CEDH deck. Yeah, he has a bracket 4 deck according to these, but he doesn't play them. I'm like, do I have a deck that I could consider bracket 4? Fuck yeah, I do. The last time I played it, I don't remember. Like, if we're going off of these guidelines, most of my decks are bracket 3. Like, I want to win. I want it to be optimized, but they're not like crazy good. Not having mass land denial and making it the best I possibly could. Because you want to have fun. At the end of the day, that's what it is all about. You want to have fun with the play group. And I know. Precisely. But. Mm-hmm. Yes. But you have one that you could put in there, type of thing. Yeah. Okay. Uh, not fun. Yeah, not fun to play against. Okay, yeah. Yeah, exactly. And at the end of the day, people are going to play what they want to play. Josh kind of said it best with it doesn't matter if we add a 6 bracket or not. If we add a 6 bracket, everyone's now going to have a 4. It all comes back to when we had a 10 tier system, everybody was a 7. No, everybody was not a fucking 7. More realistically, most people were like a 3 or a 4. But people are going to gravitate towards what everyone else is building. If everyone's telling you that they're building a 3, chances are people are going to either round up to a 3 or round down to a 3 because they want to be able to play. And it seems like bracket 3 is the most popular deck for most players that I've encountered. I will say I will be building up another stacks deck after I took apart my Airtie deck, but it's gonna be a bracket 4. Like I'm not gonna expect someone to play against a stacks deck in a bracket 3 game. It's not practical because it's gonna have land denial. It's gonna have extra turns. It's gonna have all that bullshit. Yeah, yeah, yes, yeah. And I think the lines between the decks with what Rachel did with the difference between each one is huge. And I personally think the one that this helps the most is distinguishing bracket 2 from bracket 3. Yes, bracket 3 has the game changers, but you don't have to run a game changer to be a bracket 3. And yes. And I know, yes. Yes. Yeah. So I know the one thing that you and I were kind of annoyed about between bracket 4 and 5 previously was there really wasn't a difference. And they pretty much just told us, well, if you think it's a CDH deck, then play it in bracket 5. No. They literally narrowed it down now, and they're telling you the difference is metagame. And with bracket 5, if you go on to EDH Rec and you go to CEDH decks, if your deck looks very similar to a lot of those, you're bracket 5. Yeah, other decks. Mm-hmm. No. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, no. So we talked about the brackets here. The brackets, that was the big thing that they changed. They tightened up what to expect from each bracket, which I know I appreciate, I know you do, and I'm sure most people appreciate that. The other thing that they did is they did a little bit with the game changers.
Yeah, we got some big game changer updates.
Yeah.
Actually, speaking of Urza.
Oh, God. So,
not a game changer anymore, folks.
Yeah. So I'm going to read this little excerpt
Yeah.
from the announcement about their philosophy with it, because they kind of go very well into on what their mindset is. And
I like it. I think it's good.
yeah, so it's Gavin. Yeah, I believe Gavin wrote all this.
Yeah, Gavin Verhey wrote this. Yep.
What Gavin said was, when we last talked, we added a bunch of game changers based on community feedback. While many of those were good additions, we swung the pendulum a little too far in the direction of too many game changers.
Mm-hmm.
Every additional game changer is one more thing people have to track. And one thing it really made clear is that we need some better philosophy around what makes a game changer. Game changers should generally be cards that easily and dramatically warp Commander games, allowing players to run away with resources, shift games in ways that many players find unpleasant, block people from playing, efficiently search for any of their strongest cards without a downside, or have commanders that are highly unfun in casual games. The two things they generally want to get away from with game changers are high mana value cards. So if you're spending a crap ton of mana on something, it's gonna be strong regardless.
Right.
And
like Jin-Gitaxias.
Exactly. And they wanted to keep the focus on cards that can change the game in earlier turns, where it could be the most frustrating. So with those high mana value cards that got removed from the game changers list, you have cards like Expropriate, which is a 9 mana card.
Yeah.
Then you got Jin-Gitaxias, which is a 10 mana card.
In blue. These are in blue.
Yeah, and then you got
these are mono blue too. These are mono blue cards.
Yeah, then you got Sway the Stars, another 10 mana blue card.
Yeah, like come on.
And then you got Vorincle's Voice of Hunger, an 8 mana green card. Granted, green you could probably play that
green,
a lot sooner. But
if you're dropping 8 mana in a single turn to throw down a Vorinclex, you're getting your mana's worth.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
That's I think what I love about this philosophy too, and this change, is that if I'm paying this much mana into something, it's gonna be good. Like it just is, right? We don't need to exacerbate or slap it into some list or whatever to emphasize further how good it is.
Exactly.
There's just no reason for it.
And then their second mindset was legends that are just powerful commanders.
I like this too.
Yeah, I like this one a lot.
This was good.
And he says the easiest thing to opt out of is someone's commander. If someone says, I want to play Yuriko, you know exactly what they're going to be trying to do, and that's going to allow you to prompt a conversation. If something is wildly powerful in the 99 or simply unfun all around, they're fine leaving it on the list, but power alone isn't a reason to list it as a game changer. So with that, they looked at the legends that are commanders that are just on there because they're fucking nasty commanders.
They're just like overly powerful, yeah.
Yeah, so you have Kinnan, Urza, Winota, and Yuriko. But they kept cards on there like Turgid, because Turgid is still nasty in the 99.
Yes, that's the biggest thing, yeah.
Yeah, whereas cards like Kinnan, not as great in the 99, still very good card, but
Yuriko doesn't do shit in the 99.
No.
You really can't put Yuriko in the 99 of a ninja deck. She's not really gonna do anything. She's got specifically Commander Ninjutsu.
Yeah.
So, and I still really want to build a Yuriko deck, actually. I think with this change, I think my Yuriko Ninja Dimir deck might be coming soon, because I still have like several Yuriko copies that I've been sitting on for the longest time.
Exactly.
And I've just been waiting for the time to build her, and I think now might be it.
Yeah. But I'm okay with this.
Yeah.
Because this is essentially kind of like what they did with the Commander's RC way back in the day, when they said banned as commander.
Yeah.
That's essentially what this is doing. And yeah.
Like you can look at these, right? Like you see them across the table.
You know what they can do for the most part.
Right. Like I'm never somebody that if I see whatever I see across the table, I'm gonna bring what I can to play against it.
Mm-hmm.
But I personally will never tell somebody don't play that deck.
I mean,
I don't gatekeep, right? If I go in LGS and I see a Turgid or I see a Keenan or I see Winota or any of these, I'm just gonna be like, all right, let's go. and I'm going to pull out, but no, I'm going to pull out the appropriate deck to play against you. I'm going to pull out my elf deck. I'm going to pull out Solely. I'm going to pull out what I can to play, which is what everybody should do.
And that's
I see these clips on YouTube of people getting salty and mad about, I don't want to play that. I'll never play against that. I was like, just get good.
Just play the game. Learn how to combat
get
the
good.
cards.
Play the thing.
Like, realistically, yes, they're not game changers anymore. But if I still see someone pull out a Kinnan, Urza, Winota, or Uriko,
any of these,
as a commander, I'm going to be sitting down having a conversation with them.
Okay, you want to discuss what
the deck are you trying to do with the deck?
Right.
Because if they just are trying to, if it literally just went from a bracket 3 to a bracket 2 because they changed this, no, dude, that's still a bracket 3.
Right.
Especially if you're winning at bracket 3 with the deck, and you just only have the only game changer you had was your commander, but you're still winning. Just because they changed that doesn't mean it's a bracket 2 now.
Right. I think when it comes to these, I think Uriko in particular can be a solid middle ground 3, wherein you're just playing simple ninja centered, like you're focused more on the shinobi aspect of it, and occasionally getting some good value off of her main ability. Like if I build it, I probably won't run a Sensei's Top or too many scry effects maybe that can boost that. I probably would just focus more on the unblockable ninjutsu style shinobi aspect and just try to do as much fun, crazy stuff as I can with a bunch of ninjas. That would just be a cool, unique way to play her. But I will say, having Urza here, I think could be. I think Urza's the one outlier, I think Josh or Rachel also mentioned this, as Urza could still be good in the 99.
Yes.
However, I don't see him being as impactful as Turgrid is in the 99 still. While Urza does provide some strong potential stuff, he's compared to other artifact stuff, he's just a good artifact staple at that point in the 99.
And I'm fine with seeing him in the 99 and as a commander. I mean,
I think he'd be fine.
It's not like it's Turgrid, like you said. Turgrid automatically
Turgrid just Turgrid can fuck off. Turgrid can I don't know what they were thinking when they made that one.
And I have a Turgrid deck. I don't play it. I wish.
Right, like when was the last time you actually played that? Like how many years has it been?
When did she come out?
Right? Kaldheim. So whenever Kaldheim dropped.
I pretty much got kicked off my LGS table for playing her with my group of buddies.
I believe it.
And that wasn't even my optimized version that I have today.
Right.
But
now we did get some other cards removed.
Yeah, we got two
from
other cards.
The Game Changers list. We got Deflecting SWAT and Food Chain,
which I am okay with.
These are interesting. I'm actually fine with this. I think Deflecting SWAT makes sense. It is a free spell that is powerful. However, its only thing is just letting you choose new targets.
Exactly.
For a spell or ability. So it's a good way, especially in mono red. I think it's a great mono red piece for some quick protection for a high powered commander. Or for like a high CMC commander, something like Atali or even like maybe like a Bosch Iron Golem style deck. Like if I'm paying 8 to 9 mana in a mono red deck for my commander, I'd like for him to stick around a little bit.
Yeah, if I'm playing my Zakama deck,
a Zakama deck, for example, right?
I mean, freaking 10 mana or whatever she is.
Exactly, yeah. So you're playing these big, heavy pieces, and it's just it's usually a one-off use. It's not too often that they can do these things, and it could add some fun uniqueness to the game. But it is, as they say in the article here, it's a notch below free counter magic like Force of Will or Fierce Guardianship that will, completely shut down somebody's game plan, right? Like you could stop a win entirely with a Force of Will or Force of Negation. or Fierce Guardianship, right?
Yeah.
Like those can just completely turn somebody's plan off. A deflecting swat, it's just gonna protect one of your pieces for
it's a defensive
right.
spell.
I mean, it could mess up somebody's game if they like are trying to target. Like if you change the target to something else, but like it only affects certain things, right? Deflecting swat's only going to affect, changing a target for a spell or ability. So it's only swapping the target. It's not stopping you from doing the thing. It's just gonna redirect it basically.
Yeah, exactly.
Which I think is fine. I think that, yeah.
Yeah, I think
That's
it's fine in the 99.
Yeah.
The other.
What are your thoughts on Food Chain?
I'm fine with it, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Let me ask this: when was the last time you saw a Food Chain in a Commander game?
Dude, it's been so fucking long.
Have you ever seen a Food Chain in a Commander deck?
The last time I actually saw a Food Chain and someone actually pull it off successfully was freaking years ago.
Yeah.
When I first started playing, and I remember it was shortly before my accident that I had. So my accident was in 2020. So it's been
probably a good few years before that then. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been 6 years since I've seen Food Chain be successful in
Commander specific though.
Yeah. In Commander, that is.
I haven't seen Food Chain since my Legacy days.
Yeah.
Which that's over 10 years ago.
In Food Chain, the only reason why I think it was even successful is my good buddy Drace and I, we invited some people over to my parents' house because they had more room to play in a pod. And he's never been good at telling people, oh, this is what level we're playing at. Right. Meanwhile, I have a Precon level deck. He has a Precon level deck. And these 3 guys showed up with fucking CEDH decks, and they just pub stomped us.
Yeah,
that's the only time I have ever seen it work. And that was because I didn't have a fucking answer for it. Because I'm sitting here playing a fucking Precon.
Exactly, yeah.
But I haven't seen it. And
yeah, I haven't either. But now their reasoning for it.
Yes.
Like it is an incredibly powerful combo piece, right? So it's a very strong combo card that's played in a lot of things. However, because it's a combo piece, right? And this is their line of reasoning for it. Combo pieces aren't going to be played in lower brackets.
No.
Right? If you're playing a 2 or 1, or even maybe a 3, like you could probably see this in a 3, but it's going to be a wonky 3, basically. Because it's a 3-mana card, and you might end up seeing it coming in a bracket 3, but it won't be till later.
No.
So like if you're in a 3 deck and someone says, hey, I have this combo, you'll know about it and you'll be able to be proactive about it. But you're just not going to see it in the other ones. So the only time you're really going to see this is in a 4 and a 5. And if you see it in a 5, well, you should already be prepared for it in a CEDH metagame.
Realistically, if I saw Food Chain in a bracket 2, that's immediately going to raise red flags for me. Because the only reason why you would put Food Chain in a deck is for the combo. Because
essentially, yeah, you wouldn't really run it for any other reasons.
Especially in green, why would you sacrifice your creatures just to add mana? I mean, I could see it.
It's not even sacrifice, it's exile.
Yeah.
So it's like a whole different... The only thing I've ever seen this in is with a blue card that you can play it from exile.
Yeah.
So you sacrifice it, you're netting 1 mana every time you do. So you get rid of it, you recast it, you get rid of it, you recast it, and you just keep doing this over and over again to get like an infinite piece of mana. But even then, I think it's only netting you colorless mana.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's colored. It gives you any X of any one color. Okay, so you can get infinite colored mana with this if you're playing a specific card that lets you play things from exile. So the one I use in Prosper, which I can't even play this card in Prosper because it's green, is the what the hell's the? It's the one Eldrazi that you can play from exile. That's 3 mana.
Oh yeah,
that's part of a whole like 6 card combo. That's like some crazy mad science experiment. So not even something you would see.
Yeah, but so those are cards that got off of the list. They went on to talk about some of the cards that they decided to keep on the list. Those are cards.
But I think we're worth mentioning for sure. Yeah.
I mean, those are Consecrated Sphinx,
Yep.
Coalition Victory, Panoptic Mirror. And those are the 3 that Rachel said that they were highly considering taking off of it.
Yeah, I could see that.
Coalition Victory, unless you're playing a 5-color deck,
you're
not even going to use it.
It can give an instant win.
Yes.
Though, as they state here, like if you have your 5-color commander out, then it is expensive. It's 3 extra mana on top of Wooburg. Though, I mean, it is fresh off the ban list too.
Yeah.
It's really easy to slot this into any 5-color deck. So
I think, and Josh made a good point, especially with cards coming off of the ban list, they should stay as a game changer for a little while until that they can
at least for a time being. Yeah.
And he
let them play out, let them see what's what.
And he mentioned it with like Consecrated Sphinx.
Yeah.
And also a card like Rhystic Study that they mentioned. Banning.
Yeah, that one a little bit.
He's like, let's look at the game changer list. Let's get the data and see if it's actually winning games. And if it's affecting a game that badly to where we need to ban it, use the game changer list as the reasoning as to what it's there for. It's there for cards that might be a little bit too powerful for casual play.
Yeah. Now, I think in the case of Consecrated Sphinx, I could see it being taken off the game changer list. I mean, for one, it's 6 mana.
Yep.
So it's 6 mana in blue, which I believe could put in that same like high mana value slot of like you're paying a lot of mana for something that you may or may not even get off the ground, as you have to, it has to live through the rest of that turn. So you're probably, a smart blue player would leave a couple mana up for protection. But if you're just, I want to get this thing down, I want to play my bombshell, I'm going to tap out, play this thing. Anybody playing black could just be like, okay, Doomblade.
Yeah.
That was the biggest thing back in my day. You look at a card and go, does it die to Doomblade? They'd be like, yeah, okay, it's bad.
Yeah.
If it died to Doomblade, it was a bad card. So it's just really funny. Like it's on a body. So like it's one of the easiest to remove pieces on the board, right? Creature removal is so prevalent and so heavy in a lot of decks these days that having this thing sit around for more than a turn, like if this thing gets around the table once, I'm amazed.
Yeah.
Right.
And Josh
like
said
it's
exactly.
Target number 1. Yeah, and that's to reiterate what he said is exactly that.
Like you see Consecrated Sphinx come to the battlefield. Why are you letting it stay?
Right. You shouldn't. Your sights should be locked onto that damn thing.
The other
Which
card
it is. Like I don't think it should be a game changer for that.
No. The other card that they mentioned was Panoptic Mirror.
This one's interesting.
I feel like they're keeping it on the game changer list for the same reason as Coalition Victory. It just got off the ban list.
Exactly, yeah.
Give it time. Give it a year. Let them figure it out.
Yeah, and again, like it's like Food Chain, right? Because like the combo potential of this card is pretty good. I'm actually debating possibly putting it into something. I don't actually know what I would put it into, because like you remove all instants and sorceries with mana cost X in your hand, and then beginning of your upkeep, you can copy one of those. So it's pretty good at letting you play free spells. I think the one downside to it is you have to, again, make it to that next upkeep. So, you dump 5 mana into it, you then pay extra into it to imprint something onto it, and then even after all that investment, you have to wait another round to get to your upkeep. So, in the higher tier brackets that it's going to be played in, because again, it's a game changer combo thing, so it's not going to be seen in 1 to 2s. You might see it as an offshoot in a 3, and definitely probably in a 4. In games like that where proactive and interactions are going to be more prevalent, I personally just haven't seen it be that impactful.
No.
I know none of my in my main play group, I don't think anybody started playing it. So, it'll take a few trips to an LGS to see if I ever actually see it played, but I've yet to actually see it fully used and see it pop off.
Oh God, no. So they went on to discuss what they talked about at the summit, where Rachel was telling us that they spent 3 days discussing all this and discussing Commander as a whole and where they want to see the format going in the future.
Yep.
And
that amazes me. I love that we get such a big discussion in this game that we love to play. Like, I love that it encourages such camaraderie and such discussion and philosophy.
And not only that, I love how Wizards is allowing these content creators and these people on the committee to discuss it with what they talked about with us.
Right. And actually implement the change. It's incredible.
Because as a player, I like to know what's going on. Like, I want to know the reasonings why they had to ban something or why they had to do this. Because if I see a card and I'm like, well, why'd they take that off or why'd they add that? I don't see that.
Right. It promotes the discussion. It promotes, it promotes all that good stuff.
So the 2 things that they talked about, I'll start with the first one, was the bans. They talked about banning Rhystic Study and Thassa's Oracle. Rhystic Study, I know Josh was highly, highly against it. He claims
I would be too. I love Rhystic Study.
Yeah. He claims he made an impassioned speech of why he wants to keep it. I believe it. I wish the speech was recorded because I would love to hear his reasonings. Because he doesn't really go too deep into it on the Command Zone episode.
No.
So Josh, for whatever reason, if you're watching our live stream or show after the fact, could you please make an episode and tell us a reincarnation of what you said? Because I want to hear it.
I guarantee I'd agree with you too, because I love Rhystic Study. I'm a fellow blue player. They call me Johnny Combo player for a reason. So,
like, the way I look at Rhystic Study is why ban it? Because
it's a meme. It's a funny meme staple card in a lot of blue decks. That, I mean, keeping it as a game changer means that it won't be too impactful in the lower tiers again, as you mentioned with so many of these other cards. And it's like, I mean, come on, you can't go a game without do you pay the one? Do you pay the one? Do you pay like it's a funny little joke at this point.
And at the end of the day, it's just an enchantment with no protections.
Exactly.
You're
now, granted, enchantment removal is a little, I don't want to say enchantment removal is lacking, because it's definitely not, but compared to creature removal,
yes,
you won't see as frequent like not many people are running. I mean, you should be running a Croson Grip if you can, but not every color has, perfect responses to enchantments. Like, I think a black deck that's solely in black maybe has 1 to 2 enchantment removal pieces nowadays, which I'm glad we've gotten some enchantment removal in black now, but it's still very few and far between.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, the amount of times I've played against Rhystic Study, and yes, it's card draw.
It is very good card draw, and it can be obnoxious. Certain people can be really annoyed at the constant, asking about paying the 1 and all that. It can be annoying at some point. And the groans that I've seen, like, oh, I play Rhystic Study, and then like the audible groans across the table are kind of funny at this point. I think it's I think it's good.
But for me, at the end of the day, I don't think it's ban worthy.
No, definitely not. No, I don't think it
changer, and we're good.
I certainly don't believe it impacts enough players and enough things to warrant the ban hammer. Definitely not. And that is the exact same reason why I don't believe Thassa's Oracle should be banned either. It's, it's not played. It is played very frequently, but only in 4 and 5.
Yeah, like you look at cards.
Yeah, Thassa's Oracle doesn't exist anywhere else.
Yeah, you look at the cards on the ban list, and then you look at Rhystic Study. I don't think they're at the same level.
No.
Yes, is it annoying sometimes? Yeah, but if you're only seeing at brackets 3, 4, and 5,
maybe even 3. 3 is even a hard maybe.
Like, it's tough. I don't.
And if it's in a 3, it's the only game changer usually.
Yeah, I don't think it should be banned.
No.
And so I agree with their decision on not banning it.
Yep.
Thassa's Oracle. Yeah. It's one of those things where people under CEDH don't play it. At the end of the day, I think that's what it comes down to. And
I remember too when Rachel and I were talking about at the summit, the reaction from the CEDH players that were present, they didn't give much of a reaction according to them. Like they didn't seem to really be bothered by the Thassa's Oracle being in the format. They were like, yeah, it's there. It's,
it's a good card.
Whatever. It's a good instant combo. It can be a instantaneous way to win the game, which, if they play something like Demonic Consultation or Tainted Pack, then yeah, it'll just win the game on the spot. And I played in my Stella Lee deck as a means to close the game out in certain capacities. If my other combo doesn't work, it's a backup plan.
Yeah.
But it's only there just in case.
Exactly.
And they even state in this article that Gavin wrote, it was a mixed bag of like whether if they like it or not. So like it was kind of just, it was that like it's a win, but the one thing that they definitely, I think, what is it they wrote here? Like one thing we don't have great visibility into is how often it's showing up at more casual tables in bracket 3 or unbracketed casual games. Are they ending in Thassa's Oracle? So I can say, at least for my games, no. I'd have to actually ask and see if the other players in our group actually run Thassa's Oracle, or if I'm the only one that has one.
I'll be honest. With the games I've played, the only time I've seen Thassa's Oracle is against you with your Stella Lee. That's the only time I've actually seen it. And
I know I played it in other things too. I had a Doomsday center deck where I played Thassa's Oracle as an instant win.
Like I know,
and that was the whole point of that deck.
I know you've played it and all that, but realistically, with all the games I've played, I don't.
And I even try to step away from it. I try to, which is funny from given my legacy background. Some people would think, oh, you'd want to be in that competitive CEDH mindset of where I spent most of my formative years of this game playing in such a highly competitive format like Legacy. But no, I want to be more casual, man. I'm too old. Damn near 30. I'm too old for the crazy competitive nonsense. I just want to have fun, simple, like, oh, look, all your cards have hats. Great, let's go. Oh, look, the dinosaurs. I like dinosaurs. I like this. I want to be chill. I don't want to be crazy.
And I'm in the same mindset now, especially now more with my daughters than I ever was in the past. Because before she was born, I was like, nope, I want to make a bunch of bracket 4 decks, and I'll have one or two bracket
I was
5
always
decks. And
when I first got into EDH, I was all about the highest tier, the strongest possible thing, and only ever doing that because the legacy mindset was still there.
Yeah. And even up when they first announced the brackets, I remember our discussions. I wanted to build bracket 4 decks. That's what my goal was. But now I'm looking at it.
It was hard to look at and see.
Now I'm looking at it. I'm like, why would I want to do that to myself with the limited time I have to actually play?
Right.
I want to enjoy myself and not come away with a headache or come away playing a deck that I don't really have fun playing only because it's competitive now. Like, I don't want to build a deck to combat the meta, but find out, oh, it's good, but it's not fun for me to play with just because of how intense it is or how much I have to pay attention. Like, especially playing online now. Like right now, my daughter's sleeping behind me. She's taking a nap. Like if I'm
good time to play Arena.
Yeah. If I'm playing a game on Arena or Magic Online, the last thing I want to do is have to be so dedicated to what's going on screen that I'm not looking behind me every so often. And because I'm worried that someone might play a card, I might miss a trigger, or I might miss being able to counter it just because I'm checking on my daughter. It's
and like priorities change, things grow, things change. I mean, Sometimes I wish I could do the CEDH stuff and look into that meta. I have taken some time to look into it. It's kind of cool, but honestly, it's just, it's all about just playing the games we want. So like, it's a pretty cool way to be able to separate and divide, and ultimately I think it's just a great thing they did here.
Yeah.
So lastly, the final thing we got here is a discussion on hybrid cards. This is interesting.
Yeah.
Essentially, these are cards that can be played with either color. So the best one that I think that we see the most would probably be Risk the Redeemed.
Yep.
Right. It's got the hybrid mana of green or white, and what they were talking about was allowing hybrid cards to be played in either a mono white deck or mono green deck, like in the case of Risk. So you'd be able to play it in. So you would take this commander, who is essentially a Selesnya commander, right? It's green white. If you build a commander deck around him, the deck would be green white. But they discussed letting you put him in the 99 of a monocolored deck of either of his colors. I'm not sure that's a good idea.
No. And
I don't.
I'm against this 100% because it deviates from what Commander is too much. Because you look at cards like a better example than Riss, because Riss is both his abilities are hybrid mana. Look at cards like Deathrite Shaman, for instance. He has 3 abilities.
Right.
One is just a tap ability, but the other ability is black in a tap, and the last is green in a tap. So that's a Golgari
He is
card.
he's strictly black green. You couldn't play him in any other thing.
Like that's Golgari. Because it has green in the text box.
Right.
So Risk Redeemed would be like that. The thing that bothers me the most is what they said with the follow-up when it comes to 2 Brid mana costs.
The 2 Brid, yeah.
Like Besieged Queen, Reaper King, would be their inclination would likely to be let those work the same way so any deck could play it if they wanted to. I highly disagree with that.
Right, because if you look at it, it's because something like Besiege the Queen, right? It's either 2 or a black, and same with Reaper King. So they're trying to treat that as if something like Risk Redeemed is like either green or white, then something that has the colorless cast option could be played in any color deck then, because it would be either black or colorless. I'm sorry, is it just me, or is the color pie shattering before our eyes? Well, I seeing a Besiege the Queen in any other deck than a mono black deck or any other deck that doesn't run black, just it just blows my mind.
Besiege
I can't even
card.
It is. It 100% is it shouldn't be played in any other color.
I should not be able to play that in mono red or mono white. No. It's not a white card.
No.
And same goes for a card like Reaper.
Same with Reaper King.
Yeah. Not that I would ever put him in a mono white deck.
It just wouldn't make sense. It just wouldn't. It doesn't track.
Exactly. And
so ultimately, I mean, their whole idea of it is to
open up
give
design space,
right, and give decks with fewer colors. It wants them to give them better tools and options to play different things, which I get in other formats, like 60 card formats. You can do this, but they don't have the color restrictions that Commander does. I know we talked about this earlier. Is that if we're playing a set Commander, like literally any of them, like the colors are set. It just doesn't. I don't know. My mind is boggling trying to.
Like I get it to an extent. I get it because they're trying to open up more possibilities.
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
From a player standpoint, starting to allow hybrid mana in any of the 2 decks, doesn't have to be both. that completely obliterates what Magic's about, in my opinion. It's no
Exactly.
different. Like, an example that I thought of earlier is the Pokemon typals.
Mm-hmm.
I've always been a huge Pokemon player, not the trading card game, the video game.
Right.
Fire is always going to beat grass. Grass is always going to beat water. Water's going to beat rock. Lightning is going to beat flying, yada, yada, yada. All that BS.
Right.
Magic kind of has a similar thing. Each color has what they're good at.
Right. They correspond with their things. And if we just start adding whatever we, mixing and matching different hybrid colors to not fit, because like that would be the whole thing, is they have to then design these cards to fit in one or the other, which they mentioned in the article. It's like you have to design it with both of the things in mind. So like the example they gave being Risk the Redeemed, he can work in either deck just making tokens, but he's going to be focused on token making.
Yeah.
So if your green deck doesn't focus on tokens, then you're just not going to run him. But if it does, then you could put him in there. And I get that, but then the door is opened to so much confusion with cards that have activated abilities of hybrid mana, and went like a card. Oh, what was the one that there was a 3-color thing? It's a white card that has is it hybrid mana symbols. I'm drawing a blank on it. It was in the Command Zone episode.
Yeah, I know which one you're talking
I'm
about.
drawing a blank on it now. I feel like an idiot. But cards like that, right? So like you're just opening the door to more things, and it will require more discussion, right? Like they said, it's not just something that they're going straight forward, but they want to open it up and see what people thought. And from what I've been seeing in responses to other clips and things I've seen on YouTube and responses to this, it seems like most people are in a consensus of like it could make things too confusing.
Yeah.
It opens up there's no line in the sand. It just kind of swiggles it around and makes a bit of a mess to what's already established.
I can see why Gavin is for it. I really do.
Yeah. But it's a cool idea. It's a unique. It can be cool.
What their issue is right now, I think, and it's the designers as well. When I first started playing Commander, cards from the sets weren't designed for Commander. They were designed for Standard and Modern.
It was Standard, Modern. Yeah, it was the 60-card formats. Yeah, we've definitely seen that shift.
Because even with
in
that
Commander
shift,
focus,
you look at the amount of legendary creatures. When I first started playing and buying packs, most sets didn't have that many legendaries. Then you look at sets like Ether Drift and now Edge of Eternities.
Edge of Eternities had a crap ton of legends.
And then you look at like Spider-Man, whether
full of legends,
bad set, you're getting fucking common and uncommon fucking legendaries. And
well, I think that was the main issue with I think that may have been, quick little side tangent. That may have been Spider-Man's biggest downfall in drafting it, was just that you had so many legends, you couldn't really construct, and like its pre-release was so bad, so you couldn't construct a solid 40-card deck when you had so many cards that were good, but just happened to have the legendary click on them, and you couldn't really fundamentally do anything with it because they were just all legendary.
Exactly.
And it restricted deck building.
I think Gavin has a good idea.
It's a good, unique, creative idea for
trying to help the designers, but I think what will help the designers better, and I'll probably be ostracized for saying this, but I think they need to stop designing cards strictly for Commander in sets, in the core sets.
Yeah, maybe just focus on the Precon.
Yeah,
the Precon is the Commander thing. That's what that's for.
Go back.
The set is the set for 60 card.
Yeah, you might be able to have 1 or 2 cards per set exclusive to Commander, which
they could maybe upgrade a Precon or something. Yeah.
Yeah, they always have done that, but it seems like now I'm looking at set lists as they're coming out. I'm like, oh, they don't even care about Standard anymore. Yeah, Commander is the most popular format. We all know that.
It is, yeah.
But when you're designing sets now around Commander, that's contributing to the burnout.
Yeah.
Because I remember when I first started playing, I didn't buy set boxes. I bought singles. Even more so than I do now. But when they started designing sets strictly around Commander, I started getting into the mindset of, oh, I need to buy a box because all these cards are good in Commander now.
Right.
It's contributing to product fatigue. But
absolutely,
that's another tangent for another episode.
For sure.
I don't.
Speaking of another episodes, to continue with the discussion on the Game Changers list and cards that could or couldn't come off of it, I believe we might do a future one. What do you think? Next week or the week after, of what cards we believe should come off the Game Changer list. There's a couple I have in mind that I know we discussed earlier.
Oh yeah.
But I think we could save that for another one.
Yeah, we'll talk about that next week.
Yep.
We can figure out and narrow down what cards we think really don't need to be a game changer. But
there's quite a few, actually. There's quite a few I have in mind. But I think that about wraps up our thoughts on that. Do you have anything else to add, my friend?
As of right now, no. If anyone has any comments, whether they're good, bad,
like that,
ugly, the truth, let us know. If you
do we have any just if we have any views right now? Do we got
can't tell right this second because I deleted some of the things that I have on my
I mean, I know I can't see like a chat or anything up, so I don't know.
I don't think we had any viewers, to be honest with you, which is okay.
That's all right.
People have been tending to watch our videos after they release because
perfect.
When we're releasing these things, most people are working or out with family or church is happening right now. I know for a lot of people, religious ceremonies, bowl stuff.
All right.
So with that, if anyone has any interest in jumping on our episode next week as we talk about what cards we think should come off the Game Changer list so we can add a different perspective, let us know, either myself or Jack. We already kind of have an idea of people that would jump at that gun to do so. All I will say is if you want to be on the show with us, understand the Game Changer list. I know most of the people we talk to nowadays, they understand it and
they got a good grasp
and read it. I know I have certain friends of mine that I don't think still
just a little too busy. I think
the first Commander bracket that I said.
Yeah,
but regardless,
otherwise,
thank you guys.
Pretty good.
For tuning in.
Like and sub if you enjoy, subscribe. Or don't.
We will talk to you guys all next week. All right, everyone. Have a great rest of your day.
Have a good one. Stay safe.
Nice, fun live stream.